Hmm. All right, guys. I guess we are live, and it is Thursday night, so another special stream. What's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming to you all as always. Again, this is my weekly special top 10 stream, or could be higher at some points also. Um, so I mentioned last week's stream, so I've been definitely been asking for suggestions for these top 10s, and I've definitely been doing quite a few of them. Last week, though, as you guys see on my channel, I've been doing my SummerSlam retro review series. And last week I was watching SummerSlam 1994. And I'm not going to say which match it was because I don't want to give away anything on this list. But watching that match, I thought to myself, it was one of those matches that got me like very intrigued as to what happened during the match. With the storytelling, the action taking place, it left me wanting a lot more. It was one of the moments where I felt like, if I was, well, of course, I was not quite a year old yet when SummerSlam 1994 took place. I was thinking, if someone would show me this match back then, it probably would be something that could draw me into watching the show. Like it would, buy me in as a wrestling fan, pretty much. And I started thinking to myself, I wonder what other moments like people would feel is a moment that could, like I said in the title here, that could draw a wrestling fan. That could bring a new fan into the product, have someone, invested watching more. Like that first impression that gets you like, okay, I want to see what more happens from this, pretty much. Basically what I'm saying. That is what I got from watching a certain match on SummerSlam 1994. And because of that, though, it made me think of this idea for a special top 10. No doubt about it, though, it's definitely the hardest list I had to come up with. I mean, all my lists I've done, there's no right, there's no wrong answer. Of course, it's just opinionated. But this one, I feel, is definitely a very interesting topic for discussion. So that's why I came up with this. I didn't call it WWE or NXT, even though my list includes some stuff from WWE and some stuff from NXT. But anybody in the live chat as well, or even in the comment section as well, if you can think of like a moment for ROH or New Japan Pro Wrestling, Lucha Underground, any other wrestling promotions, I may not know as well, but I'd be interested to hear as well. So again, just think of it this way. If you were to sit down a friend or, somebody like, well, of course, a friend or a family member or somebody who wasn't really much a wrestling fan, and you were trying to help them, find something that just grabs your attention, and you're so zoned in that you can continue to focus. What moment, event, superstar, match, whatever you want to call it, what is a moment that you would want to show someone to become a wrestling fan? That's basically what I'm trying to get in this top 10 for this week. See who's in the live chat. Dakota says, what's what up? So ready for the topic. Hey Mike, would you rather SmackDown go 3 hours, stay 2 hours, and let Raw stay 3? I wish both would go back to 2. SmackDown does not need to go to 3. And if SmackDown goes to 3, Raw goes to 2 hours. Okay, just keep them at both at 2 hours. It should be the case. Hi, Lauren. She's finally here. You're fine. You didn't miss much at all. Dakota, I tried watching New Japan, and the quality is crappy, and I hate not understanding the commentators. That's a good point there. But, I've heard definitely, New Japan is definitely, getting up on the rise. So maybe it will create some, what's the right word I'm looking for here? Some competition here for the WWE. He says I would rather have it be 3 and Raw be 2. I don't know. I mean, I still think 3 is just too much for a weekly wrestling show, in my honest opinion. Not sure. Lauren said crowds and TV rating back to TV 14 would be awesome. I agree. Also, Diva Search is bring back. Could happen either. Lauren's not a New Japan Pro Wrestling fan. New Japan, the chairs look plastic. Ugh, that's kind of yucky. But yeah, keep the stuff coming alive. Check out. I'll get started with my list. So again, if you were a wrestling fan, again, I mean, even though my list is mostly WWE and NXT moments, what is like a match, storyline, superstar, or an event? What would you want to show someone who's not a wrestling fan and in hopes of grasping their attention to watching the product? So let's get started with this list. Again, this was a really tough list because I'm trying to think, some of these matches I'm trying to think these events I think in the long run did it work out for the person who was involved in the match, if you know what I mean, or the events, whatnot. Like it makes sense. Like, you know, I mean, for me personally, I could say yes, it would for me, but for somebody else, do you think it would work? So let's see what we can come up here. So my number 10 on this list. Now this I was my numbers 10 and 9. I was back and forth on, you know, who I would have which one I would have put, like, you know, at the bottom or at the top, because both of these, like, were superstars that, you know, definitely, you know, has a really, you know, great storytelling in the matches and the storyline being built up to the match itself. Even though some of these superstars didn't get, you know, quite the results in the long run, but get ahead of myself. Let's just see how this goes. Again, this was a really tough list to come up with. My number 10 is the match from NXT TakeOver Dallas between Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn. Now, I'm trying to think of the long run. You know, this was Sami Zayn's last match at NXT, which a not so hardcore wrestling fan may not know who Sami Zayn is, even though some people may. And, you know, we explained who he was and the great run he had at NXT. But I more so chose this match because it's a match that, for fans, especially like me, you know, I had heard of Shinsuke Nakamura coming for the longest time. I thought his name was Shinsuke Nakamura. That's how I was literally pronouncing his name for weeks. This Shinsuke guy, how is he? Pretty much, is he good or not? But Shinsuke Nakamura, this was a match that introduced everybody to Shinsuke Nakamura, and it was definitely a 5-star match, at least in top 3 of the year. I felt for 2016 in WWE altogether. It just told that simple story there with, you know, Sami Zayn, you know, getting his swan song, but at the same time looking strong in a loss and putting over somebody who was definitely, you know, the future, you know, top guy for the developmental brand for, of course, just next year since he went to the main roster the following year. But it was one of those matches that, you know, it had the right guy to put over Shinsuke Nakamura and bring out the best in him, and making Shinsuke Nakamura looking strong as well, going up one of the best in NXT as well. To me, like, the reason why I would give this to I would show someone who wants to become a wrestling fan in this match, again, is because it was one of those matches that if you didn't know who Shinsuke Nakamura was that night, you definitely, you know, got to know him by the end of that match. And he definitely drew viewers pretty much, I felt, in my opinion. So that's why I chose that as my number 10. Again, it could be a little bit higher, but I put that down a little bit lower again because of, you know, people may not know who Sami Zayn is, because since he was getting ready to leave the company, well, not leave the company, he was getting ready to go to the main roster anyways. And of course, Shinsuke Nakamura had just a 1-year run at NXT. Hasn't really been as good on the main roster, but I still feel it was worthy still being put on this list. My number 10 was Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn at NXT TakeOver Dallas in 2016. Now, number 9. Now, I was trying to think of, you know, when exactly for this feud I would say could start. So, you know, I went a particular moment involving this feud that I really felt you could, you know, show a viewer that I felt would, you know, really grasp the attention. Because so I chose this segment on Raw from 2017 that I felt like really grasped my attention, and the reason why it got me really invested in this feud leading up to WrestleMania 33. I'm talking about the segment where Samoa Joe debuted on the main roster and beat down Seth Rollins and eventually caused Seth Rollins to re-injure his knee. Now, again, this is a segment that I also put down lower because not many people may know who Samoa Joe is, and not many people may not know who Seth Rollins is. The segment, though, was when Triple H showed up for the first time on live TV on Raw since he turned on Seth Rollins months earlier. Now, again, I didn't really like how they kind of, you know, dragged it out and kind of did nothing involving that storyline until the Royal Rumble. So from like August till the Royal Rumble, it was just we were supposed to forget it really happened for the most part. And when Triple H finally came out and explained things, that's when the feud really brewed up. And I thought that the storytelling was great there because, you know, obviously Rollins has history with a knee injury. And, you know, Triple H was just saying how, you know, he created Seth Rollins. You know, he just wanted to give Seth Rollins everything he felt he deserved or he ever wanted. And all he had to do was hold his end of the bargain. Unfortunately, he did not because he suffered that knee injury. and he gave it right all back to him. So Triple H just lost faith in him, and that's why he turned on him. So, he wanted to let bygones be bygones, though, just be the creator and not the destroyer that just ends careers and whatnot. But when Seth Rollins showed up at NXT TakeOver San Antonio, which I think was a really great touch of the show, and very out of the box, I felt, but it was awesome. That pushed Triple H over the edge, and he wants to have him come out and meet his destroyer. Rollins came out, and then Joe started beating down on him. And again, he didn't do it on purpose, but at a coincidence, it really made the storyline feel more real. And it really, had you concerned, will Seth Rollins be able to make it to WrestleMania or not? Because this knee injury was real, in fact, because it re-aggravated the recently surgically repaired knee that Rollins had returned from just a year earlier. And what I did like about the story also was, recently, when Kurt Angle made his first in-ring return at TLC, it was announced on the website. It wasn't like he left as a surprise for us to find out on Raw. When Daniel Bryan was announced that he was going to be cleared to compete for the first time in 3 years, it was announced ahead of time, and then he just talked about it on SmackDown. This feud, they didn't make it clear at all that Rollins was going to be able to get to WrestleMania. And you really felt for him because, Rollins had, won over the respect of the crowd. He was the babyface momentum was building up big time on him. And yes, he did come out with a crutch one time in the segment where Mick Foley, was getting fired pretty much. And Triple H trying to beat down him. And Rollins came out with the one crutch, and he dropped the crutch, pretty much saying, "I'm good now, buddy." But they go in there, and yes, Triple H, try to go after the knee again. But how do you not know that, if the injury was real, how do you not know maybe Triple H could have re-aggravated the knee or whatnot? It built that doubt in your mind, but same time, you wanted to see Seth be able to, it was told so well that it helped someone like me at least really get behind a babyface Seth Rollins, in my opinion. It's just one of those simple storytelling things that it can help someone really catch the attention of wanting to see, the hero overcome the enemy pretty much, which is why, I wanted to put that storyline in there. But again, I didn't know where exactly to consider start. So I'd say the segment I would show somebody to get invested in, not just in this feud, but in wrestling altogether, would be the segment where Samoa Joe beat down on Seth Rollins and re-injured his knee for real. So that's why I put that on my list. Let's see what we got in the live chat. Let's see here. Let's see here. We got Hassan in the live chat also. I got to check that out. You can make SmackDown 3 with the third hour being 2:05 live. That could work, honestly. I wouldn't be that bad. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Lauren said, bring back all the passion and promos that superstars loved. Hopefully, you mean unscripted there, because they don't, well, at least bullet points, but not scripted promos. What's up, Hassan? Rusev for Joe is a new favorite for Money in the Bank. Wouldn't mind seeing any of them win them at all. Also, just get rid of NXT and 205 Live. There's no point in bringing them to the main roster because they always get screwed anyway. I'd say maybe, if anything, maybe just make NXT its own brand pretty much at this point, in my honest opinion, because I think it's better than the main roster. Either SmackDown goes 3 with Raw, or Raw goes back to 2, which won't happen. Lauren thinks Samoa Joe's win Money in the Bank. I might as well quit WWE and switch to Ring of Honor. That's what you want to do. Is your thing. Also, make pay-per-views relevant again, especially with matches like Daniel Bryan versus Jeff Hardy. Yes. Orton versus Joe. Yes. Cena versus Nakamura. Yes. Styles versus Orton. Yes. Jeff versus Cena. Yes. Joe versus Cena. Yes. Taker versus Orton. Yes. And Daniel Bryan versus Nakamura. Yes, Lauren, you're a genius. That's why we all like you. Cass needs the U.S. title. Needs the U.S. title at best. I agree, yeah. Ambrose versus Rollins, yes. Reigns versus Ambrose, yes. Asuka versus Becky, yes. Sasha versus Bayley, please get on with that feud, definitely. Ronda versus Charlotte, yes. And Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. If they don't, keep overexposing him, I'm cool with that. I mean, I still want to see an I Quit match between those two of them. Lauren says, have Stephanie turn face. We'll see how that goes. Cena said he wants to face Velveteen Dream. I like to see that match. 30 minute Iron Woman match, NXT TakeOver. That could be, yeah, I definitely think that could be a good match to definitely, drawn a wrestling fan. I mean, I haven't really seen the whole thing, but I've seen the highlights of it. But I like that one. Lauren thinks that Cass needs a better heel run. To be honest, it's not going anywhere. I think he'll eventually pick up, though. I mean, he had that little setback with the injury, but I think he'll be fine. Yes, get rid of heel 70. We don't need her anymore. But then again, yeah, I mean, I definitely think a heel Stephanie. I mean, she's good, but sometimes if she can, do too much as a heel. So I mean, I don't know what she do as a babyface, but yeah, turn New Day heel and Rusev Day face. They paid their dues. It's time. Sure. Yeah, 70's been a heel for 6 years. It'd be time to turn her face. Zayn is going to get squashed by the bank as bad as I hate to say it, but he stands no chance in hell at beating Bobby Lashley. Pretty much. Yes, let Triple H take over. New Day splits, and I feel it's Big E rather than Woods, and it will happen at Money in the Bank. Could happen. Actually, almost 5 or 70. Also turn either Orton, Cena, Becky, Sasha, Charlotte, or Rude heel. I think pretty much all those could use a heel turn, I think, so I'm up for any of them. I could see Kofi and Xavier turning on Big E and Big E beating them in a triple threat for the final spot, and Kofi and Xavier screw them at Money in the Bank. Maybe that could be the case. I feel like they are doing something with New Day that is interesting. Make Lashley dominant again. Give Lashley good promos also to write also. If Triple H takes over WWE completely, but heel Rude may still not get pushed. I mean, it definitely would be better. 90's going to SmackDown Live as well for fresher feuds, and make also time to make Mickey champion again. I wouldn't mind seeing Mickey being champion again, but I definitely agree. The Raw roster was not fresh at all in the women's division from the Superstar shakeup. Definitely, Triple H needs to turn face. He's better as a face. I mean, it could be that at times since he pretty much is a baby face, based off the audience in terms of being the creator he is and whatnot. The idea that Robbie pitched for a Triple H versus Cedric Alexander match, just that gimmick where Triple H wants to bring out the best in his talents by himself, but not by destroying him, not by trying to end their careers, but just giving him his best. Pretty much, I'd be completely for that. So Triple H turning face would be a bad idea. Mike, would you be a baby face or a heel? I'm such a baby face person. I'm too nice of a guy. If I was a heel, I'd probably be like a Sami Zayn type heel. Pretty much, I would just be all talk. Let Punk and Batista return for one last run. Yes. Turn Jason Jordan heel. Yes. What about Ricochet versus Styles? Whoa, that would be pretty darn awesome. Do you know Pike's pipe bomb was scripted? It was? I thought it wasn't. There was a lot of truth to that, but we'll talk about that though. Debut Adam Cole on the main roster in the next 3 months. He's well overdue for it. I mean, maybe. I mean, I think the Undisputed Era again should at least hold on their tag titles. I feel until TakeOver Brooklyn 4. So I say by the end of the summer at the earliest they can come to the main roster. Triple H said, "Do you really think we would let it go on that long? If it wasn't scripted, we would have shut his mic off right away, and it wouldn't have aired." Triple H said so, and Punk said it was also. Wow, that's. I wonder if that is true or not. I guess so. We saw the research. Jordan isn't turning heel. He's returning to Monday. The Save Gable angle is going to make the American Alpha 2.0. That wouldn't. I mean, I liked American Alpha, but at this point, it wouldn't make sense at all what happened. Laura thinks we need to bring back Melina, Trish Stratus, Tori, Eve, Lillian Garcia, Punk Batista, and Kelly back. They could maybe. Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing them back, but we'll see what happens. Which Cedric Alexander 205 Live would be relevant? They are as good as NXT and better than Raw. Pretty much, yeah. NXT as a brand would ruin the product. Why is that? Trish is the Hall of Fame. Yes. This better get Jason over. Also, get rid of Jinder, please. Also, Rowan, I'm sorry, I don't like him. They continue to book him badly. Thanks to Road Dogg, as I might have said the other day, which I might make a rant video on it. But there was a script leaked online. There's a photo of the script for the BT Memorial Day barbecue, and on that script, the producers' names were Dean Malenko and Brian James. So it looks like Road Dogg's writing for Raw now, so that might be a reason why Raw has completely tanked over the past several weeks. But it might just be me. They will cheer Jordan if he reunites with Gable. I mean, they could. Do a turner on Nia. I'm giving that one more week. Cassius Ohno is a top 15 wrestler in the world, and Roman was ranked 8th. Hmm. Interesting. Mike Kanellis needs to leave and go back to ROH. Maria too. They're not doing anything with them. I agree, definitely. Um, Miz should never turn face. Heel. Miz is awesome. I agree, definitely. Miz would not work as a babyface. AJ's ranked second. Perfect. Was Tozawa supposed to win a cruiserweight title before SummerSlam? I have no idea, but I felt him giving the cruiserweight titles for 6 days felt it was pointless. I think Miz and Maurice should definitely team up again if that happens. Are you going to watch Mr. and Mrs.? I am. Maybe. I'll see. Maybe. Daniel Bryan better not be part-time. I don't think he's part-time. It was on Wrestle Talk about the Punk pipe bomb, and they usually are right. Interesting. Kurt Angle should resign as GM and bring back Vicky. Oh, goodness. Excuse me! Did you know Nia turned heel again? Yeah, I mean, it may have been a heel turn, but I'm giving it one more week to see for sure. Not watching Miz and Mrs. Yes, Fire Road Dog. Make the rant video already. Make it as long as possible. Our Rusev Day face. I have no idea based off of what happened with that dance off, which dance off wasn't too bad. But again, they tease it for 1 week. Next week, nope, they're heels again. Is Malenko on SmackDown now? I have no idea. Road Dog is a writer for Raw. Who's for SmackDown Live? I have no idea. Hopefully it's not both of them. But at this point, how can I believe it even is Road Dogg if SmackDown's actually been pretty good the past several weeks? Hold on. That Japanese guy was first. Ambrose and Orton are scheduled to return for SummerSlam. Awesome. Okada, yeah, I think that's the name. That's right. Daniel Bryan never signed a new deal. And actually, yes, I did hear that Daniel Bryan did hate his GM role. I actually just listened to the Talk is Jericho podcast that he was talking about. It was just really eating him alive, and he was 100% ready just to leave afterwards. He also mentioned that he also said, who knows, maybe if he would have still been able to wrestle, he could have been ready to hang it up around this time, but definitely not now, but yeah, I did hear that he hated being SmackDown GM because it was just eating him alive. What about Jason Jordan, Gable, and Benjamin as Team Angle? I'd be for that, but I think they would all need to be heels, I think, if that was the case. I don't know. I feel like, the dynamic would be much better as a heel. Or even if it was, them teaming Jason Jordan, because the story feels like, Jason Jordan needs to turn on his father at some point. So if they want to do him, Gable, and Benjamin turning on Kurt Angle pretty much and being a heel tag team, I think that would work better, honestly, in my opinion. Let's see here. SmackDown is better than Raw. Yes, finally, yes. SmackDown will continue to go live in 2019. Good. You think Nina are back together? I think they are. I'm not sure what is going on. This is still really a really confusing story. I hope Styles does win Money in the Bank by double count out, double kick to the balls. He reveals he was wearing a cup and beats the 10 count. Just get that feud overall, Ray, with pretty much. Nina is back together. Still think their split was a work for total belts. I think it was pretty much 2. I can't wait for TakeOver Chicago. It's gonna be awesome. Benjamin does deserve better. Who will face Jeff Hardy at Money in the Bank? Not sure. Maybe Shelton Benjamin, or I heard rumors they may not even do a match. Jeff hasn't been on TV since then. Jinder versus Roman main events, Money in the Bank. Lauren, please do not say that. Please, I love you, but please do not say that. You'll make me sick. Worse though, what if they're main event Extreme Rules? Oh man, I'm still scared to death to go to the show now. After I bought tickets, and then they make the show 4 freaking hours. Last Man Standing match could be a show stealer. I mean, I think it could be good. Extreme Rules is Roman, Lashley, and Strowman versus Jinder, Sammy, and Owens. For what? Why is that the main event? Why? That would be completely ridiculous. Jinder Roman kicking the show off. Cool. Get it out of the way. I'll be fine with that. Anything but the main event. Anything but the main event, and I'll survive from that match. But thanks guys for the stuff in the live chat. I'm going to continue on with my list here because we went out for a while. But so far my lists: number 10 was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn, NXT TakeOver Dallas, and number 9 was Samoa Joe taking out Seth Rollins on his Raw debut in 2017. Number 8 is personally one match that last fall when I watched all the WrestleManias, again, as I've said how many times before, there's definitely several matches that, I feel that I could appreciate a lot more than I could have if I would have been watching, live at the time. But I feel like, I don't appreciate it as much. This was one of those matches that just really stood out to me. It was an awesome match. It was a masterpiece. It told, just a great story. And, it pretty much was like, somebody, proving he really is a legend, because he really had to work to beat a legend. And I mentioned this back in January because I actually talked to this wrestler about this match when I met him at the World of Wheels convention back in January. I am talking about Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21. Watching this match, I didn't need to watch previous, episodes of Raw or SmackDown or whatnot to get to know, what was the story for this feud. Kurt Angle, interrupted, got Shawn Michaels eliminated from the Royal Rumble match that year, I believe it was, and pretty much said that, when he won, his Olympic gold medal back in 96, whatever the heck it was, people were more so talking about Shawn Michaels than him. So he wanted to prove that he was better than Shawn Michaels. Of course, Shawn Michaels, it was just the king of putting on classic matches. Did have to be for the championship and whatnot. A match like this, though, the two of them just brought out the best in each other the whole way, pretty much. And then my favorite part, of course, is the ending. It took Kurt Angle, and I literally told Kurt when I met him back in January that, it was just amazing, how well that ankle lock was sold by Shawn. He pretty much, he showed that, he wasn't going to make Shawn tap out easily. It made Kurt Angle look even stronger, and I felt solidified him more so as a legend. It's like one of those matches it was just pure wrestling, pure storytelling at its best. And I feel that would be something that, a lot of people would catch on to. Is great storytelling like that, and want to see, someone like Kurt Angle more. Because again, they're probably two of the more known people. People who don't watch wrestling all the time, most people will probably at least have heard of, Shawn Michaels or John Cena or the Kurt Angles or the Triple H's or even the Undertakers. Those are the names that everyone, I feel, even a casual fan or, person who's not really that dedicated a fan would definitely, become aware of pretty much. So that's why I chose this match. Again, it's one of my favorite WrestleMania matches. Again, I got to gladly talk about it with Kurt Angle when I met him back in January. And I will not forget, I literally, I told him, I said, of all your matches, I'd say my favorite match you were in was definitely your match at WrestleMania 21 with Shawn. And he looks at me and goes, oh, I really gave it to Shawn. But yes, that was my pick for that. So that is my number 8 on this list. Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21. Number 7 is a women's match, and I saw it live in person. Of course, I almost missed it because the megabus I took out to New York that weekend got stuck in traffic, and we missed the first hour of the show. But luckily, I got there right before this match happened. This is one of my favorite women's matches to watch in history. Around the time I didn't have the network yet, I wasn't, watching NXT all the time. But, I did watch, most takeovers. The first ever takeover I watched was NXT TakeOver Revenge, I believe it was. Yeah, Revenge. I've seen that, and then I saw Brooklyn 1. I didn't get to see the whole thing of TakeOver Respect yet, but I've seen all the takeovers after that. But even a couple months ago when I was watching the NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 24 special, I just still felt the emotion I remember feeling from that match. The story was told there. It's Sasha and Bayley for the NXT Women's Championship at TakeOver Brooklyn 1. The story there was just so simple. It was simple, but it was so effective. Bayley being the ultimate underdog, Sasha Banks being, the cocky boss character that she was at the time, that I feel they do need to bring back and help revive her career in some ways. Her babyface run is just so dead right now. Again, with what's going on with them right now on the main roster, I will gladly take either one, Sasha or Bayley turning heel. I still personally feel Sasha needs it more because I feel like, Bayley at least can survive somewhat on still being a babyface in some ways if they actually book her properly. A heel turn by her wouldn't be a bad idea either. But watching that match, you just felt the emotion. The tension in there. The back and forth action. The trash talk by Sasha. She was going after it and hurting Bayley, and it looked like she literally was. I remember, I think there was a moment in the match where she broke Bayley's hand and whatnot. It was just great storytelling that could easily get someone who like me, of course, who wasn't watching NXT full time, but could really get you behind the women's division, especially on NXT, and get you really invested in a character like Bayley, who was written well in NXT to easily get over with the audience. I felt, in my honest opinion, that is why I put that on my list at number 7. Bayley versus Sasha Banks for the NXT Women's Championship at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 1. Number 6 is another match from back in the days. It's a match that, in short, just was simple double turn action here. WrestleMania 13, the submission match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart. Of course, a year earlier, Stone Cold Steve Austin was just the ringmaster. It was an okay gimmick, but it wasn't anything that made him into the legend he was today. And of course, the reason why people, turned on Bret Hart and started rooting for Stone Cold Steve Austin is because the basic storyline I tell here to show, Austin's character as just, someone who literally, puts everything out on the line pretty much. It was just something that people could definitely get behind him. It was the birth of the Austin era pretty much. And yes, Stone Cold Steve Austin down the line was definitely limited because of his neck injury suffered at SummerSlam 1997, which I'm about to watch that next. He has limited his career, but anytime he would appear, he would just get the big pop because that night he just gave everybody, the taste of what he's really made of. And he got people to cheer for him, even though he went into the match being the guy to be hated. But after the match happened, it was the complete opposite. People, hated Bret Hart, but loved Stone Cold Steve Austin pretty much. It's just classic double turn action there that could easily draw, fans into being a fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin. And of course, with him being probably one of the biggest names in the company, drawing him to people eventually, want to see more from the wrestling products. That's why it's number 6 on my list. Let's go back to the live chat. Let's see here. Let's see here. Back up here. Okay, let's see here. We got Jinder and Roman will close, unfortunately. Money in the Bank will open the show. I mean, one of them could open the show, but I feel the men's Money in the Bank ladder match should be closing the show, or the world title match should be. Dakota said, nah, they said that Styles Nakamura closing. I'm fine with that. Worst Mania of all time. Dakota thinks it's WrestleMania 11. WrestleMania 11 I thought was okay, but I mean, it's definitely not one of the best ones because of the thin talent on the roster, but I feel like it was not as bad as WrestleMania 9 or 27. 32 is also definitely there also. They say the best Mania is 18. I've heard it was 17, but 18 wasn't too bad. Best cash-in of all time, either Edge or Rollins. Probably Rollins, yes. Lauren agrees that Kurt versus HBK is one of the best matches ever. Could watch it over and over again. Just a masterpiece. I miss Edge too. Mania 18 was amazing. I still think people say WrestleMania 17 was still the best. Lauren thinks the best WrestleManias of all time is 18, which that was good. 23 and 24 pretty good as well. 28, I definitely like 28. 31 was good too. I got thrown WrestleMania 30 there also. I still think Rollins is defending against Elias at Money in the Bank. Yes, I just got the notification also. 30's up there too. Hassan did like WrestleMania 34 was abysmal. I ranted. Again, WrestleMania 34, I enjoyed it until the last hour. I did not like the last couple matches. Well, mainly the Raw tag match and the main event. Like there were a couple matches that are like they were all right for what they were. They could have been better, but I still thought WrestleMania 34 was still not bad this year. I feel for you if you go to Extreme Rules and have to witness Jinder versus Roman, I'd leave. Well, I mean, I already bought my tickets and paid my friend back for them, so I'm gonna have to go. Oh man. Best Money in the Bank match was the first one. They'll walk out on Roman and Jinder. But will Vince care? Nope, because he's making like 2.5 billion over the next 5 years because of SmackDown pretty much. We need a great roster again. Just look at WWE's roster for 2012, greatest roster ever. I mean, we do have the talent to have a great roster. It's just, we don't have a good creative team at all. That's, well, my opinion, that it is. Roman is no longer the top guy. Rollins is. They say, but they still want that to be. Then NXT took over. I think 205 Live NXT ruined WWE, to be honest. I mean, I wouldn't blame them. It's just, Triple H, took over the shows, and he actually takes pride in the work he does, which is why I wouldn't mind seeing him right for the main roster either. Charlotte versus Sasha, the feud or all together, but that would definitely be that's definitely a good choice for just a feud in general to definitely draw in a viewer. I agree. Did you see that main event between Buddy Murphy and Alexander? I did. It was awesome. Best women's matches ever are Bayley and Sasha at TakeOver in 2015. Yes. Charlotte versus Sasha at Hell in a Cell. The Hell in a Cell match wasn't bad. I expected a little bit better though from it though. I felt I still think their best match was maybe either Falls Count Anywhere or the match where Sasha won the title off of Charlotte in Pittsburgh on that July 25th episode of Raw. I think those were the two best matches. But Hell in a Cell wasn't bad, but I just expected a little bit better from it. Lita versus Trish at Raw 2004, yes. She doesn't watch NXT. She's watching Superstars. The match 205 Live was a 4.5 star match. Nice. Sasha is the final woman participant for the Money in the event. Yes, I saw that. Sasha needs to turn heel. And what about women's tag titles and cruiserweight tag titles, Mike? Women's division tag titles, no, too much. I mean, again, cruiserweight titles, tag titles. I keep saying it. I just don't want the cruiserweight division just to be its own brand, because again, there's so many other superstars that deserve more than just just the cruiserweight title. It could be more. They could be more than that. So I'd say probably not, in my opinion. Bayley should just leave. They're not doing anything with her. And yes, I may not like her, but you got to feel for her. Yeah, I mean, the problem is they bring her to the main roster. They book her as like, a toddler pretty much. Just like, oblivious. Like she doesn't know when to get serious. I mean, she's shown some signs in this feud with what's going on with her and Sasha now, but they're not getting anywhere with it. They made her look weak, look weak, and doesn't shouldn't even be there. Women's tag titles would be interesting, but there's not enough women. Exactly. Billy, should be better. I think Peyton should be in women's Money in the Bank instead of Charlotte, to be honest. I definitely agree. One of the members of the Iconics should have been in there. Charlotte's many opportunities. Yeah, I mean, it's all right for her to, still be put over other superstars. But, I think, again, when Charlotte does not have the title, she doesn't need to be built back up to get to a title picture. But I think, though, Charlotte would be a great, opponent for a lot of people for non-women's title feuds, and definitely help put some of them over as well. So I think that's the best role she should be in when she's not the champion. Austin Hart, awesome match. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart was another good one. I'd love for Stone Cold to become GM for Raw. Would be very interesting, definitely. He'd stun everyone. Yes, he would. He should. Jordan won't be turning on Kurt. We all know that for a fact, because WWE changes their mind at the last minute. That is unfortunate. Yes. Rock SmackDown GM. Be interesting. Another top 10 suggestion: worst and best storylines. I think I got that already on the list, but thank you for definitely mentioning that. Kurt and Paige aren't good GMs. He doesn't think. Or Edge for SmackDown. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Put Christian and China for Hall of Fame next year. Yes. Best cash-ins are Orton, Edge, and Rollins. Those are great. China unlikely because of Triple H and Playboy. Yeah. Bayley's abs. What the hell? WrestleMania 25 was good. WrestleMania 25 wasn't too bad, but it definitely wasn't one of my favorites. Lauren thought WrestleMania was bad in my opinion. Mike Rogero's biceps. No, I don't. Guys, I am not that strong. I am not that strong at all. I am not ripped or anything. Sorry, Hassan, I was disappointing you. Could have even been better. The build-ups were better than the matchups. Shinsuke will never be champion. Somebody do that on WWE 2K18. Sure. Have you seen 2006 December to Dismember, whatever it's called? Nope, I have not seen that. Yeah, I heard that was bad. Great American Bash 2004, I know was bad also. Charlotte versus Natty. Are you referring to their match in NXT? I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about their match. The match they had in NXT. I can't remember if it was for a title. It was at one of the earlier NXT pay-per-views. I know, which I might go back and watch definitely those after I do the SummerSlam Retro Review series. Yeah, people think that December Dismember is the worst pay-per-view ever. Didn't Sasha rant on Twitter or something like that? I'm not sure. I mean, I know right before WrestleMania, apparently her and Bayley complained about, their storylines. That's why they got thrown to the Battle Royale instead of an actual match or whatnot. That might happen. I'm not sure if there's something else I might miss. Hassan, I have 2K18. I kind of disliked Bayley from the beginning. I understood her in NXT, but after her main roster run, this rehashes my dislike for Bayley. Completely understand. Bizarro World in Canada because the Maple Leafs suck. I love that line. What about when Austin broke his neck? Again, we'll be watching that next, but I'm definitely see the fact that it go to Universe mode and make Shinsuke world champion, but Orton didn't do his on his own LL or cash in. I was joking on your biceps, but not Bayley's abs because that's all I like about her. But this is your life, and otherwise, nope. Yep, yeah, definitely that segment. I think was that build to that match that the Cavs are going to pull. I think was what put the nail in the coffin for Bayley's burial, pretty much. I hate Dakota doesn't like Nakamura. Sasha wants to go to SmackDown Live. I think Sasha. I thought they should if they weren't going to do anything with the Sasha and Bayley storyline. One of them should go on SmackDown Live. That's what should have happened. Definitely don't know why they didn't. Sasha here is a real. I've heard rumors that Sasha isn't one person, someone that really get along with the fans. I've definitely heard some stories. But yeah, thank you guys for the stuff in the live chat. Let me keep going with the list here. Again, my 6 to 10 so far on my top 10 moments you feel could draw a wrestling fan into the product. Number 10 is Nakamura versus Zayn at TakeOver Dallas. Number 9 is Samoa Joe taking out Seth Rollins on his Raw debut in 2017. Number 8 was Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21. Number 7 was Sasha Banks versus Bayley at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 1. And number 6 was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. All right, let me get a quick drink of water. Again, I do not know why I have a Texans cup. It just existed in the cupboard downstairs. Plus, it's the biggest bottle of water I can find in my house. So, why not? All right, number 5 is actually a feud that is still going on right now. It is definitely on pace so far to be my feud of the year in 2018. Going back to the concept saying, you guys, people who may start watching right away would definitely have to watch when the turn took place to at least feel for them as a team, pretty much. Because throughout this feud, you have learned more about their history and whatnot, them being best friends for 12 years, and just how much that turn felt when it happened last year at TakeOver Chicago. And then just the suspense building up for what would happen next with them. But then the stuff they did in between helped other superstars as well was unreal. I'm talking about the feud with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Started last year at TakeOver Chicago, one, of course, where Tommaso Ciampa turned on Johnny Gargano after their main event tag team ladder match. Again, they did that turn so well. They've done this a couple times, which, sometimes didn't have to really do it, but I feel like this was where I feel like they did this right most. They literally had the trademark logo up here in the bottom right, and you thought that was it for the show. You thought maybe this is DIY, go up to the main roster pretty much. But then that's when Tommaso Ciampa said the famous line of "This wasn't our moment, it's my moment." And then that split second, you see Johnny is looking at the face like, "What the hell?" And then Tommaso turns and just beats up Gargano and lays him out. Ciampa 2 weeks later mentions, that he had suffered a knee injury beforehand, and he was offended by people who would replace him by dream partners. He put it aside, but he re-aggravated his knee storyline wise in the ladder match. Of course, either way, he was set to be out for a good amount of time, but it was just a way to write him off the show. But he knew that after they lost the match, they knew that as fast as they were going to replace him, Johnny was going to do the same thing. As Tommaso said in in the promo for their first match at Takeover New Orleans, which again was a very great match, probably one of the better matches we've seen in a long, long time. As Tommaso says, it's you're selfish. You're selfish. He thought Johnny was just selfish and thought more for his sake and not for Tommaso's sake at all. And then, Tommaso Ciampa, as I said in my video I made recently of why Tommaso Ciampa is such a great heel. It's just Tommaso's had a game plan. He has tried to ruin Johnny Gargano's life, and he's been succeeding in almost everything. He came back out of nowhere afterwards. And again, as I mentioned before, also, this storyline helped, arc over in another feud, which was, with Gargano and Almas, as this definitely also helped Almas to, improve as well down in NXT as well, with the whole storyline with him and Zelina Vega teaming up, and them, getting into Johnny's mind about, DIY, just trying, Johnny's trying to move on from that and just be Johnny wrestling all over again. And then Gargano, has been able to overcome those obstacles, but he's given an opportunity that, at first he wasn't going to be given, but then he was given the opportunity and he got into the qualifying match. I mean, the number one contenders fatal 4-way for the NXT Championship. He lost the match after a strong performance, though. Again, a very, a match I wouldn't expect to be like nearly 5 stars. Like that match at Takeover Philadelphia between Almas and Gargano was awesome. It blew the roof out of the place. I mean, I thought Adam Cole and Aleister Black's Extreme Rules match was going to be tough to top off. That match pretty much, I think, just outdid it, I felt, because of how good it was. And afterwards, Ciampa returns, hitting Gargano with the crutch. And then, a couple weeks later, when Gargano put his whole career on the line for the NXT Championship, and he, as Tommaso said, he was waiting for Johnny to want to have his moment, and he wanted to just rip it straight from his heart, as he said. He attacked Johnny with the crutch again, costing him the match, going. And then Johnny finally, returned to get his revenge on Tommaso Ciampa, who took his career away from him. And yes, he beat him in the unsanctioned match, but Ciampa's still got out of his way to make Johnny's life a living hell back at NXT, taking him down and out again, making him literally that dangerous again. And then now he's causing issues between Johnny and Candice. As Candice is really concerned about Johnny, this has gotten too far and really dangerous. It leads that street fight, and it led to Candice also getting hurt. Like the storytelling is just so great, and it's just like, again, it's just the right basics to build up a great heel who is an effective heel who's great at being a complete jerk on social media. If anybody sees any of Tommaso Ciampa's tweets, he is awesome at just getting all the heat on him he can, and it's effective. And again, he literally is the guy I may have lost the battle, but I'm still winning the war right now. And Tommaso Ciampa is winning the war, and Johnny Gargano is being built up as that strong babyface character, that underdog character that everybody can get behind pretty much. So that's why I definitely think that that's a feud that people definitely, who are not into wrestling should definitely check out, is this feud that's still ongoing between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano in NXT. Let's see here. Let me see here. Let's see here. WWE signed Kota Ibushi. Could, if he wants to come there. Another top 10 suggestion. Top 10 injuries. Not sure what I can do with that, but I'll put that down. Let's see what we can get. What we can do out of that. Top 10 injuries. Sasha is mean. I heard that too. That makes Sammy World or Universal Champion. Sure. Mex America. Oh, don't even remind me of that gimmick. That made no sense at all. The whole Mex America thing with Del Rio and Zeb Colter. That was awful. Do it, Dakota. Alberto Del Rio at Payback, 2013. Talk about it. I didn't see that show, but I do know. I do know that they kind of pull off like a double turn there with Dolph Ziggler and Del Rio. Pretty much Del Rio going back to being a heel. Pretty much, I can't really say too much about that storyline. But I appreciate leaving that out there. HBK versus Taker at WrestleMania 26 is number 1. I mean, I definitely for the moment, yes. A lot of people think their match in 25 was a little bit better though, but that's definitely a great moment as well. The show as well. Cena versus Orton Iron Man match is also up there. I mean, I'll give it. I mean, I know that's definitely a feud that's been overdone how many times. Will probably be fresh if the roles were reversed, but I think that the time you had Iron Man match is definitely a classic between the two of them. DIY Stone Cold versus Rock feud is number 2. Definitely. I cried when Rollins turned on the Shield. I was shocked when Rollins turned on the Shield. So I mentioned how many times I just still, for some reason, thought Rollins would be like the last of the 3 to be the one to do the turn. I mean, I wasn't mad about it, but I was shocked. Like that was played off really well. I thought. Triple H versus Orton. Yes, the feud definitely that feud. Lauren does not like the Gargano and Ciampa feud. It's okay. I love it though. Dakota hates Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is just a badass. She thinks Gargano should have been the one to turn. Okay. I do. It's good. Gargano is a top wrestler. Why won't WWE bring up Cassius Ohno? He deserves it more than No Way Jose. I definitely agree. Nikki Cross is champ. At least she thinks this, but that was classic last night. I was confused. Gargano won't ever be a heel. He's naturally a baby face. Another top 10 suggestion is top 10 families and romances or weddings. Let's see what I can do from that. Top 10 families, romances, or weddings. I'll put that down as well. Thank you for the suggestion. Ciampa deserved to be heel more than Gargano. As Lauren disagrees. Candice LeRae betrays Gargano at Chicago. Yikes. That would be heartbreaking. Cena should be Intercontinental Champion before he retires. I'm cool with that. Cena getting around the IC title. If he can do it like he did with the US title, I'd be completely cool with that. Ciampa looks like a heel. Actually, Ciampa is the best heel in the company, pretty much. Who do you think will retire as a heel and face? I can't even choose those. Man, that is definitely a tough one. I have to think about that one. LeRae won't turn. Another top 10 suggestion. Best SmackDown Raw moments ever. I think I had that one written down, but thank you. Yeah, I'm starting to think EC3 will attack and cost Gargano. They were teasing some type of a view with that last night. Some wrestlers are just natural heels and natural faces. Exactly. And EC3 should debut on a main roster. So is Black a face or a tweener? Black is pretty much a baby face. He doesn't talk like a face. True, yeah. Top 10 feuds. I got that marked out also. Yeah, I thought when Aleister Black debuted last year, I thought maybe he should go heel because I feel he I feel it could come across a little bit stronger from the dark side. But I think he's just too hot of a character. Well, too hot of a he's too popular. I mean, then again, you say about Velveteen Dream also, but yeah, I think he's definitely could be sure. Maybe he could eventually turn heel if he does, like you said last night in my NXT review. If Black does remain an NXT champion for a year till next year's WrestleMania, then maybe during his championship run, they could maybe try him out as a heel to get some fresh opponents for him as well. Could happen. We'll see. But thank you for the stuff in the live chat as always, guys. Continuing on here. Let's see here. What else we got? Okay. Speaking of retirement matches, we talked about, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker before. This is not quite the same. But my number 4 on my list, I mean, I kind of got the idea of putting this on my list because my one friend who got me into wrestling told me that this was the match that, he was watching his friends watch one day, highlights from that got him to be a wrestling fan. But my number 4 on my list is Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24. I mean, again, I'm sure, even if you don't watch wrestling, a lot of people have probably heard of who Ric Flair is pretty much. And of course, Shawn Michaels. And this is the basic storytelling of, Ric Flair, being towards the end of his career, of course, put his career on the line. And how many pay-per-views think he did at Elimination Chamber and Royal Rumble, all-state matches against, I think it was MVP and Mr. Kennedy. And then, of course, he was facing the showstopper. And, Shawn Michaels was resistant to pull the trigger and doing it as well. You saw the emotion, the resistance that Shawn Michaels had in trying to, take out Ric Flair. But Ric Flair started saying, come on, bring it to me, pretty much. And then that moment at the end of that match just still gives me chills to this day when I watch it, where, Shawn knew that this was it. This was the moment he had to strike. And he looks at Rick and just goes, I'm sorry. I love you. Super kicks him, and then he just pins him. But when he pinned him, he just pinned him. He was all emotional. He gets down. He just, he just gives Rick this big hug pretty much, and he walks away to let Rick have his moment pretty much. Again, it's just a classic storytelling moment there. Of course, you'd be invested to see, how Shawn Michaels is going to be able to, cope and continue to move on. He didn't want to do this. I mean, he had the feud with Batista afterwards, because Batista was upset with what Michaels did. Of course, eventually it led into the feud of the year, probably in 2008. Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. I've watched highlights in that feud. That's definitely one of my favorite feuds of all time, definitely. But I think that's definitely a great attention-grabbing match to get someone more invested in the product. So that's why my number 4 is Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24. Let's see here. Top 10 feuds, got that. Loud House Lincoln, Lana Lily, Lola Lucy, Lynn, Luna, Lisa, Lenny, Lori. What the? That's funny. Owens needs to turn babyface to see how it works. Give it a try to see what it is. EC3 would be wasted if he went to the main roster. It might be. Now Reigns should have turned. I thought Reigns should have turned on the Shield because he was a powerhouse. Should Killian Dane have taken the pin in the Fatal 4-Way instead of Aleister Black? Could have. Top 10 thoughts on who'll turn heel and face. Let's see here. Let's see if I got that one. Top 10 who should turn heel or face. It was sad. Yes, it was. Top 10 champs of all time in pay-per-views. We got those. I got Davies retirements. I got those. I got those there as well. This champion is technically Edge, who holds 31 titles more than anyone. Lauren never liked Flair. Really, Lauren? Whoa! Just kidding. I'm kidding. But HBK versus Flair was good, yes. Top 10 final matches. Ooh, like retirement matches. Top 10 retirement matches. Yes. I mean, his titles don't lie with Edge, definitely. Big Cass rules. They ruined Ryback. Yes. Do you think Kenny Omega will ever go to WWE if they book him right? Yes. Top 10 unexpected heel or face turns, got that. Top 10 tag teams and alliances, got that. Ryback couldn't wrestle, he sucks. Top 10 promos, got that. Ask Punk, the pipe bomb, LOL. Yeah, and he says, I don't even want to talk about the Ryback stuff. That took 20 years off of my life. That podcast. Gotta listen to it again sometime. Yep. Thank you guys as always. So that was my number 4, though. Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24. Number 3, as I mentioned at the beginning of this stream, there was a match when I watched SummerSlam 1994. I think it was last Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it was. This was the match that made me think of this idea for this topic video. The match I'm talking about, SummerSlam 1994, is The Undertaker versus The Undertaker. Just kidding. That match sucked. The match I'm talking about is the match that should have been the main event of that pay-per-view, I felt. That was the steel cage match for the WWF Championship. Owen versus Brett. Now, before this match, I saw their opening match at WrestleMania 10 was an unreal match. This match was even better because it got built up more with the family getting involved and everything. They're all at ringside showing their emotions with Jim Anvil Neidhart, been getting more involved with the feud, also, helping, Owen become king of the ring pretty much just to build him up to be a main event contender for Brett's championship. And he was all on Owen's side. And, the match, just felt, the emotion from the family, what's going on there, the frustration with, Jim just favoring Owen the whole time. And, the two of them is when there is put on a classic of a match inside the ring. And, of course, afterwards, the finish with Jim Neidhart running and knocking over British Bulldog and his wife. I think it was his way just to introduce British Bulldog also back into the WWF at the time. They get into the ring, lock the cage, and they start attacking Bret Hart. The rest of the family just tries to get into the cage, but they keep knocking them off until I think one of them got in and threw off their whole plan. it was just pure chaos the whole entire time. It was like, just like, it was a family feud pretty much, just, going to extreme levels, I felt, whatnot. The whole storyline, too, even like the video package to show like the whole history of what happened with Owen and Brett, like what got them to this day. Started back in Survivor Series last year where, Owen blamed Brett for, him being eliminated. He's tired of living in Brett's shadow. And then things seemed fine, but at the Royal Rumble, Brett's injury costed their match again, and that's when he turned on him. And that's what led to their match at WrestleMania 10. They continued to feud the summer. Owen won King of the Ring. He thought he was worthy of getting a title shot, and that's where they got there. And again, the whole thing with Jim Neidhart just taking Owen's side because he felt like he was Brett's former tag team partner, and then he wanted to outdo Brett as well. But great storytelling. It's the match that I felt. Again, even though I was not quite 1 year old yet when this match took place, I felt that if I was, watching wrestling back in those days and someone showed me this match, that would be a match I think that would grab me on and grab my attention and want me to see more for the more of what's going on in the product. Pretty much, that's my number 3 is Owen versus Brett in the steel cage match at SummerSlam 1994. Let's see here. What do we got that? I got promos. Owens was unexpected. Top 10 divas and superstars. I believe I got that. I meant Zayn was unexpected. Yeah, Zayn unexpected heel turn. Yes. Do the big cast taunt when he raises his fist. I just put my green screen, put the big cast on there, block up the beats. So I can be the seats. It could say big ass. Which match closed SummerSlam 1994? Undertaker versus Undertaker. Dakota may cast a mid-card champion. He could be top 10 high flyers and top 10 submission holds. I like those ideas as well. I have a lot here. Top 10 high flyers, top 10 submissions. Got those. 10 High Flyers, Jeff and Ray. Enough said. Definitely up there. I like British Bulldog's last theme where they used barking dogs and astounding music in the Attitude Era. Oh my goodness. Top 10 family versus family. Let's see here. Top 10 family versus family. Top 10 McMahon. Jeff versus Matt. That probably was sad with Jeff's dog dying. I definitely added a twist to it. Top 10 McMahon family moments. Sure, top 10 McMahon moments. I already did a Daniel Bryan one, but thank you for the suggestion. Top 10 Cena and Orton moments. Okay, we can try that. Top 10 Cena and Orton moments. We'll try that one. The Diva and Superstar moments. I believe we got that. What's up? Mike, what's up, Robbie, as well. So I came up with some flavors for WWE Women's Ice Cream Bars. Oh, goodness. I would like to hear those, Robbie. Cass is only an 83, so he would lose the title right away. The list you're doing right now, number 1 better not be a women's match, especially Bayley. No, it's not. Top 10 first and last title reigns. Top 10 first and last title reigns. Interesting. Well, let's see what I can do with that. His number 1 is Austin versus Rock. Actually, I did not have Austin versus Rock on this list. Actually, I did not, but that definitely would be a good one. Hardy's feud in 2009, Triple H's feud in 2010. Hardy and Punk in 2009, yes. Triple H and Orton 2009, yes. Mike, did you see Jeff win the WWE title at 2008 Armageddon? I did not see that. Nope. I did not watch that pay-per-view. Top 10 champs. Already got that one written down as well. Thank you guys for the stuff in the live chat. Robbie also mentioned those ice cream flavors that you've thought of, definitely. So let's get now to the top 2, which are both more recent moments in wrestling. Number 2, I think one of the most intriguing, times that I can think of in the WWE that I enjoyed, that I've gone back and watched a lot of material from, is it got me, especially the one promo, of course, that kind of gives away right there, that just really got me being more of a fan of CM Punk, was the Summer of Punk. I think that is a great, time to definitely, even if it's something more recent, to definitely, show someone to get them more invested in the product. Because CM Punk, wasn't bad at all. I mean, the Straight Edge Society could have been, a lot better than what it was. Oh, sweet, the Power Game's tied. Sorry, I got distracted. He was doing the SDS stuff and the new Nexus and whatnot, which is stuff that they definitely could have gone farther with. But CM Punk, I feel like really, I mean, and also, again, like we mentioned before, probably he was at his best with his feud with Jeff Hardy in 2009. Again, I definitely need to watch more of those matches, though. But I've definitely seen, moments from that feud as well. I definitely agree. That's definitely one of the better feuds of all time. But I feel like CM Punk got to his highest point with the Summer of Punk and that pipe bomb he cut. And it all fell true. Punk's, contract was coming to an end. He obviously was not happy in real life. He was not happy at all either, with what happened, how he was being booked in the company. And he thought he was being underappreciated. He was being a heel though. This made CM Punk a babyface because him talking on the mic was gold. And again, no offense to John Cena fans, but people who hate on Cena. Punk spoke the truth of how they felt also. And again, CM Punk made himself babyface. He got himself over big time. Of course, they tried to, stop his momentum by transferring it all onto Triple H in the fall of that year. But it was just some great storytelling. And it was just someone that you could easily get behind, someone you would just want to see more come from. And the fact that, he went away for a couple weeks and he returned, which, I mean, I wasn't watching at the time, but anybody who was watching that time, I'd be curious. When Punk did return after John Cena won the championship off of Rey Mysterio a couple weeks later, did anybody think Punk was going to really come back? Or was there rumors of it happening? Or did you not expect Punk to come back after him walking out after that great match at Money in the Bank in 2011 as well? But yeah, again, it was just great storytelling, great promos. I mean, it was CM Punk at the hottest point of his career. I feel definitely the Summer of Punk is number 2 on my list. Live chat. Let's see here. Let's see here. Did Mike see Lauren's face yet on the internet? I guess I've seen photos. He hit the Swanton on Triple H and Edge. Nice. Top 10 best friends and rivals moments. Let's see that. Top 10 best friends and rivals moments. Rival Kenobi, have you heard about DC superhero ice cream? Edge said Triple H was smart. He let Edge take the blunt force from the Swanton, or when rivals turn into friends, or when friends turn into rivals. Could do that. Top 10 friends turn into rivals, or vice versa. I mean, we can see what that goes. Top 10 Steph moments. Top 10 Stephanie moments. Top 10 Triple H, HBK, and Edge moments. Top 10 Triple H moments. Top 10 HBK moments. Top 10 Edge moments. Leaving a lot here, but I like it. And CM Punk. Okay, yes. Top 10 CM Punk moments. I could definitely do a lot of those. So we got Pirate Princess Punch, Submission Wizard Strawberry, Riot Squad Root Beer, Legit Boss Stone Cream Pie, Straight Fire Pineapple Strawberry, and Zelina Vega Latin Passion Fruit. You're a genius, Robbie. That's why we like you. The Rock asked people if they wanted to see Rock versus Austin again at WrestleMania. Interesting. Hey, hello from Paraguay. Hello, King Slayer. How are you? I completely lost my place. Summer of Punk was great. It was, hey, this guy is smart. He's a Rollins fan. Awesome. Top 10 WWE Women and Divas Champion. World Women and Divas Champs. Let's see here. Do I have that on the list? Top 10 World Champs top 10 women's champs, top 10 divas champs. I'll see what I can do with any of those. Who doesn't like Rollins? Give me Pirate Princess Punch. I like Rollins. She didn't think Punk was coming back. Me too. Rollins is the only good thing in WWE, and Cole is running it into the ground by once again saying Red Hot Rollins. Oh yeah. I don't even know if that's PG. Pipe Bomb is number 1. LOL. You sold out. How did I sell out? Top 10 couples and kisses. Ooh, that's a good one. Top 10 couples, top 10 kisses. How did we sell out, Dakota? Sorry for so much top 10. No, Lauren, you're fine. I'm fine with all the suggestions. Dakota sold out. We didn't sell out, man. What's going on here? Maybe you're the one who sold out, son. Just kidding. If Rollins is winning the Universal title, he will make the title great for the first time. Yeah, he pretty much will. I mean, I definitely agree that, Rollins probably be the hottest thing right now. The most wanted person to definitely win the Universal title. But who knows? They'll probably do another match with Roman and Brock again, just because. But I'm done with that feud. How is Rollins betrayed the Shield leading to that champ? Yeah, true. But how did we sell out though, man? It's all right. But yeah. So but yeah, that is where are we at now? Oh yeah. So far, let's go over this list again. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn, number 10 at NXT TakeOver Dallas. Number 9, Samoa Joe taking out Seth Rollins on his Raw debut in 2017. Number 8, Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21. Number 7, Sasha Banks versus Bayley at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 1. Number 6, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret the Hitman Hart at WrestleMania 13. Number 5 was the Gargano and Ciampa feud that's currently going on. Number 4 is the Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair match at WrestleMania 24. Number 3 is Bret versus Owen in the steel cage match at SummerSlam 24. And number 2 is the Summer of Punk. So what did I put for my number 1? Well, my number 1 was not that difficult. I mean, I don't know if it would work for, other fans, but I mainly put this as my number 1 because, again, this is what got me to be a wrestling fan. And I cannot wait to watch the match and the aftermath when I get to SummerSlam 2013. Of course, my number 1, you should probably all guess, is Daniel Bryan versus the Authority feud. That's my number 1, moment or event that I feel could draw a wrestler into being, could draw in a wrestling fan. Again, Daniel Bryan was obviously he comes out looking like, just one of us pretty much. He, he's going up against a big name in John Cena, which again, I'm sure a lot of people do know John Cena. And again, a win over John Cena is a pretty big deal. And they did that well in a great match and a great storyline building up where, it felt real because the storyline with how John Cena was allowed to pick his own opponent. So John Cena, being the guy who claims he listens to his audience, which he does, selects Daniel Bryan because, he was probably the hottest act at the time. Of course, the two of them, tried taking shots at each other, which that segment was great. The whole thing with the parody and the slapping in the face and whatnot, just bringing out the best in each other. The match they had again was awesome. And Daniel Bryan winning with that running knee, winning the championship. And, storyline also behind on the background, everybody else thinking, this is not a good idea. Vince McMahon himself didn't think Daniel Bryan was worthy. But then Triple H, wasn't, favoring Bryan, but he was being the guy he was willing to give Daniel Bryan a chance. Bryan, of course, won the title fair and square at SummerSlam 2013, but Orton had been Mr. Money in the Bank teasing the cash in. And he came out to tease it again. And then Orton was walking away. And then, of course, now here's the thing also, knowing the history of Randy Orton and Triple H also from their feud wrestling from 2009, Triple H turns on Daniel Bryan and pedigrees him, allowing Orton to cash in and win the title. And Triple H, pretty much wanting to see the guy he wanted to be the face of WWE. You just got behind Daniel Bryan getting a big win over John Cena, and again, becoming, just getting attached to the moment, and it gets taken away just like that. Like that's like, I'm sure a lot of us have had setbacks like that. Well, hopefully not like very grave or whatnot like that. But then the authorities go out of their way to throw all the odds at Daniel Bryan to stop him from getting to the top. But they did not work. And again, to think they were not going to go through with this storyline leading up to WrestleMania. I'm not just saying this because, yes, I'm a Daniel Bryan fan, but because it's a golden opportunity to create a huge WrestleMania moment. Just having, just Orton and Batista fight in a match at WrestleMania for what? What was the point of it? They were going to have Daniel Bryan again, who was built up as probably the seeds were planted there for, just that great story that will just, draw in a lot of viewers. They're going to build them up to have a match with Sheamus, a 12-minute match with Sheamus for what? What was the story going to be there? How would that have been able to be pulled off, honestly, in my opinion? But then, just had all the odds against Daniel Bryan. He beat both Triple H, and he beat Batista and Orton in the triple threat match. And, of course, you want to count Triple H and Scott Armstrong as well, again, in the main event. The odds were stacked. The story was there. We were just – everybody was just destined to see Daniel Bryan just overcome all the odds. Hijacking the crowd with the Occupy Raw segment and everything. Again, it was all there. And that story, I think, is just what can easily, it drew me in, but what can also draw in somebody else to become a wrestling fan like me, in my honest opinion. So that's why that is my number one on this top 10 list, is Daniel Bryan versus The Authority from 2013 to 2014, leading up to his WrestleMania moment at WrestleMania 30. Woo! Let me get a quick drink here. Live chat, what's going on here? Let's see, if you guys came up with any other moments that you think you would show a non-wrestling fan or a casual viewer to try to, get them more invested in the product. Let's see here. Let's get here. Let's see, where did we leave off at? Yeah, it was a joke. Yeah, I knew it was a joke, Hassan. Strowman said, not Strowman, Dakota said they are running Strowman into the ground. They pretty much are. He doesn't like Strowman. It's all right. Hassan saw it. Just kidding. Number one. We all knew it. Top 10 shocking returns and greatest, hottest tags. I already got that. Of course, the Authority is supposed to be hated, but they're definitely effective and great at the role that they played. Lauren likes The Authority. Top 10 oh my god moments. Let's see here. Let's add that in there. Top 10 OMG moments. Jeff jumping off the thing, doing a swanton bomb on Randy in 2008. Or I'd say another one would be this Edge spearing Jeff Hardy in midair in the ladder match. Lauren said, hey, Mike, great top 10. Gotta go walk the pups. Talk to you later. Okay, Lauren, thanks for joining us. Hassan, you said you sold out. That means you're in The Authority, you traitor. Yes, see you later, Lauren. It was a joke. Nobody sold out. I'm picking on you, Hassan. No one likes The Authority. I also got Team Kick Kiwi Strawberry, Twisted Bliss Blueberry, Bailey the Berry, Lacey Evans First Lady Lemonade, and Rowdy Ronda Raspberry. Give me Blissberry and Lacey Lemonade. Oh my goodness, Robbie! You need to make like a video like advertising these. In fact, I eat Blissberry offer. Oh, nice one, Hassan. Robbie, give me more ice cream flavors. Yeah, definitely. Dakota does not like Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans is all right. I'm starting to become a little bit more of a fan of hers. At first, I wasn't quite digging whatever her character was, but she's definitely starting to come around a little bit, in my honest opinion. Matter of fact, here's one: Stratisfaction Caramel and the Club Blonde Brownie Bites ice cream flavors. The Club Blonde Brownie Bites. Interesting one. Live chat, leave the open for a few more minutes in case if you guys think there are if you think there's any other moments that you think could draw in a wrestling fan, I'll give you a couple more minutes to do so. Do you think Ono is going to leave the WWE? Not sure. I mean, again, it seems to still want to stick him in NXT for some reason. I mean, I liked Robbie's idea for like an Ono and Strowman feud when he comes to the main roster. But maybe if they don't pull the trigger on him going to the main roster, maybe he will leave WWE. I don't know. Let's see here. She better get over. I named after you. Mike, did you know that the guy who came out to help Rollins out the ball guy was the bookie for Ring of Honor? I did not know that. People think WWE did that on purpose. Who knows? Maybe they did. No, WWE, I never know what to do that. To show the fans everyone comes to WWE for the right price. I hate that. I'm glad Cody Rhodes again left to, he left to pretty much prove that you don't need the WWE to make a living pretty much, and they're not, the greatest thing for you. As WWE just thinks, they're the big leagues. You can't get any better than us pretty much. But Cody Rhodes has proven him wrong. So good for him. Cody Rhodes will be back. Hopefully he will someday. I mean, he's definitely a great talent that should have been a main eventer. I mean, he got some good mid-card runs, but he definitely deserved a run in the main event. Definitely one of the more underutilized superstars of all time, I felt. But yeah, I will. Also, New Japan on a finishing move, it looks fake. Maybe, yeah. Not everyone will win the WWE title. Definitely not. Yeah, not everyone will. I mean, I don't expect anyone to, but at least they'll get good booking as well. They put effects into it to make it look devastating. Jeez. But yeah, I'll give it our minute for a live chat. But I'll go over my list again for my top 10 moments that you could feel could draw a wrestling fan. Number 10, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn, NXT TakeOver Dallas. Number 9, Samoa Joe taking out Seth Rollins on his Raw debut in 2017. Number 8, Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21. Number 7, Sasha Banks versus Bayley at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 1. Number 6 is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. Number 5 was Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa feud from 2000. That's currently going on. Number 4 is Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24. Number 3 was Brett versus Owen in the steel cage match at SummerSlam 1994. Number 2 was the Summer of Punk in 2011. Number 1 was the Daniel Bryan versus the Authority feud from 2013 to 2014. James Ellsworth for WWE champion. Oh, goodness. It was fine for a while, but it did start to get a little too far at one point. But, I definitely was on the James Ellsworth bandwagon. Mike, can we get a classic James Ellsworth? Duh! Got it right there, Robbie. Yeah, we all wish Vince would retire. Vince will not retire until he's in his grave. Even when Vince is dead, he'll be coming back to haunt us to make sure things are still being done the way he wants to, pretty much. Oh, boy. But yeah, guys, I think that's it pretty much. Thank you guys again for joining in for this special live stream. And this was a challenge I was willing to accept, but I think, I had a pretty good list. I hope to hear, more of moments in history you feel could definitely be a moment or an event that could definitely, draw in more wrestling fans. Whatever you feel that is. So definitely, guys, Dakota, Robbie, Hassan, some guy called the Kingslayer, Lauren. Thank you guys again for joining me in the live chat as always. If we slap a like on the video, subscribe to my channel for more content to come. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93. I'm trying to do a rant video soon on Road Dogg, probably taking over for Raw. But I'll try to see when that comes. I do work this weekend, so we'll see what happens. But guys, thanks again. I mean, I'm not sure which topic I'll do next week, but I'll hopefully try to do another special stream next week as well. Again, please click my like and subscribe. We're currently coming channel on Twitter, Demand Airbrownie3. And also, since he's in the live chat, let's get the hashtag please sign Robbie plug out there. As I keep saying, Robbie Kenobi, great guy, good friend of mine. He comes up with great ideas, like a Cassius Ohno main roster run. Cedric Alexander versus Triple H, Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt double turn, so many others. Again, whenever you get the time, Robbie definitely get to more fantasy booking videos as well. He wants to write for WWE. He definitely write a much better show than Road Dogg can for sure. So if you check out his channel and like what you see for his fantasy booking, please get hashtag please sign Robbie trending on Twitter. And of course, also, as I also mentioned too, also hashtag promote Tyson Kidd and hashtag fire Road Dogg. So, yep, that's pretty much it, guys. John Morrison will be back. He said he'll never said he was. He said never say never WWE. Could be, and yes, Cedric Alexander could be WWE champion for sure. I do agree. He can cut promos. Yes. But yeah, guys, thanks again for tuning in. I'm checking out. So until my next video, guys, I'll see you all later. Peace out, everybody.